You've probably been told it's your looks, your smile, maybe your confidence that makes a man fall in love. But here's the raw truth. None of that actually makes him stay. Sure, those things might grab his attention for a while, but they don't reach the deepest place in his heart where real love lives. Because genuine love, the kind that makes a man choose you and only you, doesn't start with what you think it does. It begins in a place most women never pay attention to. There's one thing that makes him see you differently, that makes him stop comparing, that makes him say to himself, "She's the one." And no, it's not sex. It's not playing hard to get. And it's definitely not pretending to be someone you're not. It's something subtle he doesn't even realize he's searching for. But when he finds it in you, something inside him shifts. He can't unsee it. You stay on his mind. You become his standard. And the truth is, almost every woman has this power, but almost no one uses it. What I'm about to tell you works whether you're just in the talking stage, you're in a relationship that feels like it's losing fire, or you've been wondering why men pull away after things seem to go well. This could be the missing piece you've been looking for. So don't click away. Don't rush past this. Because once you understand it, you'll never have to sit and wonder, is he really falling for me? Again? This isn't a game. This is emotional truth, and it changes everything. People love to say men are simple. That's one of the biggest lies in modern dating. Not only is it wrong, it's dangerous. It tricks women into chasing shallow strategies, like thinking you have to look flawless, act unbothered, or play the cool girl role just to keep his interest. But let's be honest, men are not as simple as they pretend to be. The myth says men only care about physical attraction, low drama, and a good time. But what men actually crave, especially the ones worth keeping, is something they rarely say out loud. They want to feel safe with you, not just physically safe, but emotionally safe. Safe in a way that makes him feel like he can bring you all of himself. His confidence, yes, but also his doubts, his fears, his insecurities, without you judging him. See, most men are raised to hide their feelings, to stay strong, to never show weakness. So when he meets a woman who makes him feel accepted not for his image but for his soul, he can't help but let his guard down. That's when the walls fall. That's when real attachment begins. But here's where so many women get stuck. They try too hard to be chill, endlessly available, constantly giving, thinking if they just do more, he'll finally choose them. The irony? The more you overgive, the less he values you. Why? Because he doesn't fall in love with the version of you that bends over backwards. He falls in love with the version of you that's grounded, real, and unapologetic. The you with opinions, boundaries, standards, and depth. That's the woman he respects. That's the woman he can't forget. Here's something that might shock you. Men don't fall in love during the picture, perfect moments. They don't fall in love over candlelight dinners or during movie-worthy kisses. They fall in love in the in-between, in the small, unscripted moments when you challenge him with compassion, when you let him sit in silence without rushing to fill it, when you see his fear and don't flinch, when you choose to walk away instead of begging for clarity. That's when it hits him. You're not like everyone else. Because here's the truth, any woman can be beautiful, flirty, and fun, but not every woman can meet him at the place he hides most. Men act like they don't want depth, but they are starving for it. They just don't know how to ask for it. And when you're the one who creates that emotional safety, who reflects back to him his inner world without judgment, you stop being an option, you start being home. If you've ever asked yourself, why do men pull away after things seem to be going well? It's often because you were focusing on what men appear to want. not what they actually need. And when you learn the difference, you don't just hold his attention, you hold his heart. Not with gains, not with manipulation, but with real emotional presence. So let's talk about what really works. Real love isn't about being the most perfect, the most giving, or the most agreeable. It's about being rooted in yourself. Because when you trust your own value, when you show up in your truth, when you can say no without guilt and yes without fear, that's when you become magnetic. That's when he doesn't just desire you, he treasures you. Men fall in love with the woman who makes him feel significant without losing herself in the process. He falls in love with the woman who listens deeper than the surface, who sees him not for what he does, but for who he is when no one's looking. That's the emotional trigger. Safety plus significance. It's what every man longs for, even if he doesn't know how to say it. And here's the thing, you can't fake this. You can't perform it like a role. Men know when it's authentic and when it's strategy. The women who leave a mark, the ones men think about years later, aren't necessarily the most beautiful or flashy. They're the ones who show up anchored in themselves, who bring warmth without losing boundaries, who offer depth without fear. That's unforgettable. So if you want a man to truly fall in love, stop worrying about being liked. Stop editing yourself just to fit into his idea of who you should be. Instead, focus on being felt. Be the woman whose presence lingers long after the date ends. The woman who makes him feel not just attraction but peace. The woman who doesn't chase love but becomes it. Because when you live in that energy, you'll never have to beg for love. You'll attract it. You'll inspire it. You'll keep it. And here's the final takeaway. Lasting attraction isn't about sparks. It's about gravity. Sparks fade. Gravity pulls you back again and again. Be the woman whose energy feels like home, whose presence feels like truth. And when you do, he won't just fall for you. He'll stay in love with you. Now, before you go, if this message hit home, don't just leave it here. Subscribe to Magnetic Mindset and step into a community that's growing stronger every day. Comment below and tell me, what's one shift you're making starting today? Because your love story doesn't change when someone else chooses you. It changes when you choose yourself. And when you do, the right man will have no choice but to recognize it.